Welcome to Tanking, where powerful warriors dominate the battlefield. We arrive at number 3 on our top 10 hero picks for Season 34. With 32 total picks, Chang'e has managed to secure her place as one of the most popular heroes of the season. Though her win rate may not match the silver contender, her abilities and versatility have made her a favorite for many. Chang'e, the moon goddess, brings a celestial power to the battlefield that can devastate foes and keep allies safe. But what makes her stand out, and why does she sit just below number 2 despite having the same hero picks? Let's explore Chang'e's gameplay, strengths, and challenges as we dive deeper into why she's earned this top spot. Chang'e's greatest strength lies in her long-range abilities and the control she exerts in fights. Her passive, Starlight Pulse, allows her to deal massive damage over time while her enemies are affected by her celestial magic. Her first ability, Stars of a Moon, summons several meteors that deal AoE damage to enemies. This skill is a fantastic zoning tool, preventing enemies from diving into your team or forcing them to retreat. It's the perfect ability to protect your squishy allies from aggressive melee champions. Chang'e's second skill, Bright Ball, is a quick skill shot that targets a single enemy, dealing significant damage. It's a reliable poke tool, enabling her to harass from a distance and chip away at enemy health before team fights even begin. Her ultimate, Moonlight Shock, is a devastating, high-damage AoE skill that deals magic damage to enemies in its path. It's a game-changer in team fights, capable of turning the tide when timed correctly. Chang'e shines when picked against teams that lack mobility or quick burst damage. Her long-range abilities allow her to safely deal damage from a distance, making her a great pick against tanks and bruisers who struggle to catch her. However, she can struggle against heroes with strong crowd control or gap-closing abilities, as she relies on positioning to stay effective in fights. Chang'e excels in compositions that benefit from a mage who can control team fights, such as with supports or tanky frontliners. If paired with heroes who can initiate well, Chang'e can follow up with heavy AoE damage, wiping out the enemy's backline. In the early game, Chang'e is a relatively safe pick. Focus on farming and positioning, using Bright Ball to poke enemy heroes without putting yourself in harm's way. As a mage, she isn't very durable in the early game, so playing safe is key to her success. Once you reach level 4, try to harass enemies with your ultimate, Moonlight Shock, during skirmishes or early fights, but only if the situation is in your favor. If the enemy has tanks or bruisers diving in, don't overcommit. Chang'e's effectiveness is at its peak when she can stay back and deal damage from a distance. As the game progresses, Chang'e's role becomes more defined, controlling large portions of the map and dealing massive AoE damage in team fights. At this point, positioning becomes critical. Stay in the backline and use Stars of a Moon to zone the enemy team. Don't be afraid to deal damage with Bright Ball to poke and disrupt their formation. In the late game, your ultimate, Moonlight Shock, can decimate the enemy's front and back lines, especially if the enemy doesn't have a solid frontliner to engage. If you can land a perfect Moonlight Shock and follow it up with other abilities, you can easily turn the tide of a battle in your team's favor. Chang'e's magic may not always lead her to victory, but her ability to control the battlefield with precision is undeniable. With 32 picks this season, she has solidified herself as a top-tier pick, just behind the number 2 hero in terms of total picks. While her win rate may not be as high, her potential in the right hands is vast. Her celestial powers, combined with her high skill ceiling, make her an excellent choice for players who understand the importance of positioning and timing. If you master her mechanics and play to her strengths, you could be the one who brings her to the top of the leaderboard. Stay tuned for our next hero as we reveal who will claim the number 2 spot. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to get all the latest updates and insights on Season 34's top picks.